Hi everyone, my name's Gups. Just think of a cup, instead of putting a C at the start, put a G at the start, and I'm the host and founder of CoSign Podcast. You are listening to a bonus feature of my Versus series, and today's podcast is called The Homeless versus the Helpless. Now, what is the difference between a homeless person and a helpless person? Well, if you Google what a homeless person is, Google will tell you a homeless person is an individual without a home and therefore lives on the streets. If you Google what a helpless person is, Google will tell you a helpless person is an individual unable to defend themselves or act without help. Now, as a child, I was always brought up to do good and help others. I was inspired to be somewhat of a philanthropist, somewhat of a humanitarian, and I always believed that I would have a positive impact on the world. When it came to homeless people, I always assumed that they were helpless because they needed all the help and support that they could get in order for them to rebuild their lives to get them to where they needed to be. Now, I remember when I was in high school, I'd finished school for the day and I was catching the bus home. In order for me to get home, I had to catch the bus into town, and then from town I had to catch it to the area where I lived. When I got into town, I was hungry, so I decided to go to McDonald's because I had some money on me. When I got outside McDonald's, I saw a homeless person there and they were begging for money, telling me they were starving, they hadn't ate nothing in days. So instead of getting my food from McDonald's, I gave my money to this homeless person thinking I was doing the right thing and carried on with my journey home. When I got on the bus, I realised this homeless person had got on the same bus that I got on. I didn't think much of it, but either way, I carried on with my journey home. When I got off at the bus stop, this homeless person got off at the same bus stop that I got off at. In fact, they went around the corner from the bus stop to go see a drug dealer and get their fix for the evening. Now, as you can probably appreciate, at this point in time, I was really ticked off. I was frustrated, I was annoyed. A, I could have got my food from McDonald's and fed myself. B, a homeless person had taken my kindness for granted and had told me a story about them starving, them not eating for days, and them begging for money, when realistically they had an alternative agenda to why they wanted the money, and all they wanted to do was get their fix for the evening. Unfortunately, this wasn't a one-off, and things like this kept on popping up every now and again. Me as a person, I want to help people, but at the same time I don't want to be used, so I realised that I had to do things differently. When I walk through town on a daily basis or in an evening, I've started noticing there's a lot more homeless people popping up on the streets in Leeds. Some of them are going through real, genuine, unforeseen circumstances where they've been really unfortunate, they've gone through a hardship and they've become homeless, and with some sort of help and support they can rebuild their lives to get them to where they need to be. And then there are those people, unfortunately, who are homeless and are happy to be homeless and will tell you whatever story they need to tell you to get money out of you so they can go get their fix for the day, whether it's gambling, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, or whatever other addiction they need to feed. Now, like I said, there's a lot of people that are very similar to me that want to do good, want to help other people in a positive way, but at the same time don't want to get used in a negative way. Well, here's some of the things that I would recommend to you guys in order to make sure that you're still doing good but you're not getting used. Now, when you speak to a homeless person, give them the time of day to ask them why are they homeless, what happened to them, how they ended up there, what can you do to help or support them. Give them that heart to heart, because sometimes just a quick conversation can do the world of good. If they're begging for money because they need to get food or drink, instead of just giving them money, especially when you know it may not go on food or drink, see if you've got the time of day to pop to your local express shop and go get them a sandwich or a drink and give it to them. I'm pretty sure they'll really appreciate that. Sometimes you will get those people that will turn around and say, what have you got them that for? Or they'll show you no gratitude and they'll start effing and blinding at you. Well, at least you know with those people they weren't being genuine in the first place, and you know for next time that you're best off not giving them money, and you're probably best off just not entertaining what they're asking for, because they're not genuine homeless people that are helpless that need your support. Sometimes you get those homeless people that will beg for money because they need to get clothes. Now, if you've got the time, if you've got the money, pop to your local shopping centre and see if you can go to a Primark, a TK Maxx, a H&M and get some clothes, some trainers, a jacket, a hat, whatever it is for these guys, and give it to them. Once again, I'm pretty sure they'll really appreciate that as well. If you can't afford to go buy clothes, or if you don't have the time to do that, when you get home, see what clothes you can recycle, you may not wear, they don't fit you, you don't like the look of them, and give it to these homeless people. Once again, I'm pretty sure they'll really appreciate that as well. Alternatively, if you just want to do more to help and support homeless people, see if you can do some volunteering work with some of the charitable organisations that are out there. There's some non-religious and religious charitable organisations I see on a weekly, a fortnightly and a monthly basis, going around town in Leeds, speaking to homeless people, giving them food, giving them drinks, giving them clothes, and seeing what help and support they can provide to improve their life and their standard of living. So there's a lot out there that you can do to help these people that are going through unfortunate circumstances and that are living rough on the streets in a positive way, without getting manipulated, without getting used, and without getting lied to, so they can go feed a bad habit which you may not really support. Either way, I hope this podcast has been informative, I hope it's been helpful, and I hope it's given you a fresh perspective on things that you can do to help others out there. Have a good day. Aim high, dream big, take it easy. Peace.